What's going on, guys? Max here, and I'm back with another video. And today I'm going to be showing you guys how to turn this into this in just a couple of easy and quick steps. So before we start the video, I just wanted to say I hope you guys have been having a great weekend so far. I've been enjoying myself filming for the vlog and getting ready for other videos. Hopefully you guys have been having a great weekend yourself. Also, you guys can please share the video and like it. It will help me out a lot. And stay tuned for more videos like this. If you guys want to see more videos like these tutorials, more film, more cinematography, and more technology type videos, stay tuned, subscribe, because there's gonna be more of that on this channel. Okay, so as soon as you guys log into LightRoom, the first thing you guys want to do is obviously create a new catalog. That's the first thing you want to do, create a new catalog. I don't know what we should name this. Let's name this, I don't know, LightRoom test pick. I don't know, something like that. Name it whatever you want. I'm just gonna be naming it that. Create one. LightRoom cannot create an open catalog named. Okay, let's redo that quickly. I don't know why that didn't work. Let's just say random pick 2. Here we're creating a brand new catalog. Hopefully this works. Yes, it's working. It's loading in. Let's see what we're going to be doing next. Okay, so as soon as you load in, let's go check our pictures. Saved pictures. What pictures should we edit here? We got some nice pictures. You know, there's a cool picture I want to show you guys, is a landscape picture. So I'm going to be teaching you guys how to edit a landscape. Just to clear that off, landscape pictures. So we're going to pick this nice mountain picture right here. It looks beautiful just on its own, but we're just going to add a little bit more dynamic range to it and make it look even more cinematic and beautiful. So obviously, let's select the picture. Here's the picture, looking great. Okay, so pretty sure we imported this. Go to the develop tab right up here. Go to the develop tab, and you're gonna get these sort of color changing tools, the tone curve, the basic, all this HCL. I'm gonna be teaching you guys today how to use all of that to create your image and make it look more cinematic. Okay, so yes, we got our mountain picture right here. Let's zoom in a little bit. The quality is a little bit weird when you're zooming in because it's not really meant for that, but we're gonna edit this picture either way. So let's just stay with the basics. The temp, so they're cool little colors. You can see here the temperature. You can switch between blue and yellow, or the tint between yellow and purple. So honestly, my favorite way to go is to do the cooler color. So go to the colder, the blue. I just love how like more white contrast looks. So let's bring that down to the blue. As you can see, it looks so good, because like if you bring it up to the yellow, it doesn't really look that good, honestly. In my opinion, I don't really like the way it looks when you're tinting it on the yellow side. So I usually do it pretty much almost all my pictures onto the blue, unless if you're taking a picture of like a very bright sunny thing. If there's like a picture that has like a shiny bright sun, I'd recommend putting it into the yellow tint. But there's no sun in this picture, and it just looks better when the mountains are blue. Reproduction is blue, so we chose blue here. We put it on -17. You could choose whatever you want. I think this is a nice contrast. Try a little bit more. Nah, it's a little too much. I think 17 was actually nice. 17 was actually, yeah, perfect. I actually like 17 a lot. Okay, so going to the tones, the exposure. Let's see, not too much exposure. I think right there is good. Just a little bit over the average. Let's just tweak around with the exposure a little bit. I don't know, because like this is way too bright. Like this is the brightest I would go. I don't know if I want to keep it bright or if I want to keep it like dim. That's way too dark. It has to either be on 0 or just bring a little bit of the exposure up. I think bringing the exposure up a little bit actually looks pretty nice, or maybe bringing the exposure down a little bit. I think the mountains just look better with the exposure just a little bit up. It's maybe like 48%, just a small little bit. Because this picture just doesn't look good if you bring the exposure too up or too down. Just play around with it, really. That's all you need to do, is just play around with the settings. The contrast. Okay, the contrast. Let's see. The contrast makes it look more sharp. That is way too sharp. I don't like that. Pretty high up. Maybe like do like 40. If you zoom out, the picture with more details in terms of like the picture size I chose is a little bit different. So with the sharpness, I like that way that looks. That looks actually very, very nice. Let's zoom back in. Okay, let's go to the highlights. Let's bring the highlights up. Actually, I'm gonna zoom in just so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. Highlights, bringing those up, brings like the background a little bit brighter. I think I'd rather bring the highlights down, actually. Yeah, the highlights up make it like more washed up. I don't like that. I think I want to if the highlights are down, you kind of see more detail. I think I like the highlights down. Yeah, definitely down. Let's keep the highlight all the way down, -100. That looks very, very nice. Back to zoom in, shadows. Let's see what we can do with the shadows. I mean, when we bring down the shadows on pictures like these, a lot of times like the parts that are already dark are gonna get darker, so sometimes shadows are not the greatest thing to do, but I mean, it's your preference really. For this thing, I don't know, I think I want to just keep the shadows on 0. I don't think there are anything. Actually, yeah, I think I might bring the shadows just a little bit down, just so we can make the trees look a little darker, because our main focal point of this picture is the mountains, and you want to make sure you show the mountains more than you're showing the trees. So I guess turning the shadows down just brings the color of the trees a little bit down, which I like. So the whites and the blacks now. Let's bring the whites up a little bit, I think. I don't know. Blacks a little bit down. Okay, let's see how that looks. There you go. Bringing the whites just a little bit up and bring the blacks just a little bit back. So the blacks are becoming darker and the whites are becoming brighter. So you could see the whites better, and the blacks, honestly, if you bring the blacks lower, you could see it better, because it's like black is a dark and white is a bright, so logically makes sense. So I kind of want to bring out the whites and the blacks in this picture. Okay, so we are done with the tone of the picture. I like the way the picture looks now. The exposure, the whites and the blacks and the shadows look perfect. I love this. I'm already liking the way the picture is looking. Honestly, this is good enough to be exported already. Like, it looks great already. Honestly, I would export this the way it is right now. But let's add a little bit more clarity and vibrance. Clarity, I don't know. I don't really use clarity that much. If you're bringing more up, it gives like that weird effect where it's like everything's so perfectly detailed and sharp. Sometimes images look very good with that, but the image we're going with, that much sharpness is not good. I think actually bringing the sharpness up quite a bit looks very, very sleek and nice. I like that. We're gonna bring that up a little bit. Then the vibrance and saturation are what's gonna give your picture a lot of, what do you call it? It's gonna give your picture a lot of color. So if your picture is lacking a lot of color, vibrance and saturation can do it. But some people would rather use the HCl, which we're gonna go into a second. But I just want to quickly see what we can do with the vibrance. Let's bring the vibrance just a little bit up. As you can see, it gives the image just more color with the vibrance. I like that. I'm not going to bring it too much. Saturation, I think that's enough. That looks beautiful. That gave the image just, the blues are way better now. Yeah, that's actually perfect. I don't think we need to go up or down anymore. The highlights, lights, darks, and shadows, you could also control these with like the wheel and stuff like that, but I'm not going to be doing that because I'm happy with the way the image looks. So skipping that, if you guys like the actual wheel itself and the tone curve, or the lights and darks, if you guys want to work on a little bit more of the darks, like the shadows, and work on that a little bit more in detail and make sure that like your whole image is bright. Since the mountain and the picture was taken with very nice lighting, I don't have to worry about that. If your picture was taken and it had pretty bad lighting, if there's spots in your image that are way too dark or way too bright, you can easily control it with the wheel. As well as you can see up here, the adjustment brush. Yeah, the adjustment brush, you could go over the image and you could, for instance, control it now. So you could just this specific area that I pressed on, I could change the exposure, the darkness. So if there's a specific part of your image, like the mountain for instance is too bright, you could bring the exposure of it down, and as you can see, just that area right there that I selected is the only part that's being controlled, which is a very, very cool effect that you can do. So if you have like a character or a person in front of a picture, like a portrait, behind everything's very, very bright. So if you took a picture with a lot of lighting and then the background is so bright, but then the person you took a picture of is not as bright, and then like when you look at the picture, like you see like the background more than the actual figure, you can select the actual character, like for instance the mountain, and I could change the exposure and make it crazy bright like that, as if like a crazy sun just shined right at it. And then when you look at this image, that is the first thing you're going to be seeing. So just exaggerating the mountain now, and that is the cool thing about this. But honestly, I'm not going to be using that. Let's undo that adjustment layer because I don't need to do that. But if you guys want to specifically sort of change exposure in a specific area of a picture, you can easily do that. Okay, so going down to, where even are we at this point? Okay, here, the HCl and stuff like that. So what this does is it controls specific parts of the picture. So the red part, it controls all of the reds in your picture. So if you have a lot of reds in your picture, you can control how red the picture, how red it looks, or how like less red it is. I mean, we have a lot of blues and aquas in our thing, so if we bring the aqua down a little bit, we get more aquas up and stuff like that, and it changes the color down like that a little bit. That looks good. It's not really changing too much. The blues, yeah, the blue is definitely changing a lot. So I could literally change it and make it this weird purple, or I can make it look completely aqua, or we could get the teal color or the blue color. I have a specific blue I really like. That blue looks change the exposure up here a little bit as well. What is going on right now? Okay, so continuing, just had a little bit of problems changing the blues. You could easily do that. You could change the other colors, like green for instance. I can make the trees and all the green in the actual image more green, obviously, so I can make it more dim green. I could bring the greens up a little bit and stuff like that. Yellows, you could bring up the yellows and stuff. Orange and all of that. Since the only visible colors are more like, the only really visible colors you see on this is blue and green. That's why I'm not gonna be really exchanging too much. But what is going on with? Yeah. Okay. So back to the HCL thing. We chose the colors. So far the image looks very nice. The colors are exaggerated. I like the tone. Everything's looking good. You could also change the hue lighting and stuff like that, the saturation, once again, the balance, the shadows. You could do all of that the way you like. So if I bring it all the way up, I mean, it doesn't really change too much, but if you guys want to add a little bit more color and saturation, you could do that. Just play around with it. Make sure you like the way the picture looks. Personally, right now, I really like the way the picture looks, and I don't really want to do too much more tweaking. And if you guys want to add any like effects to your picture other than lighting specific parts in your image, just export this and put it into Photoshop. And I'm going to be doing a separate video like that where I'm going to be editing a picture in LightRoom and bringing it to Photoshop and doing some more stuff on there. But today's lesson is just specifically on LightRoom. So yeah, that's pretty much how to color grade the image. As you can see, the image looks great compared to what it looked like before. When you're taking pictures with your phone, the colors with the camera are very bad, so I would even recommend to install the app. I actually have an app, the LightRoom app. As you can see, free. I didn't pay anything. LightRoom, you could easily edit pictures. I actually have one picture on my Instagram that I took with my phone and I color graded it, and it actually looks good now. So I could even color grade pictures and edit pictures on the go, and that is amazing, and that is what I was looking for. So you could do the same thing on your phone if you want to. If you took a picture with your phone, it looks very bad, you could easily do the same thing I just showed you on the PC, but on your phone. There's exactly the same settings, the vibrance, the highlights, the exposure, so you could change how bright, how dark your picture looks. You could give your picture more color, more saturation, and stuff like that. Also, if you guys want to see any other types of tutorials on Lightroom, I could show you guys how to also make a picture that was horribly taken, bare minimum lighting, and how to make it look sort of, and how to give it light as if you had professional lighting in it without actually using professional lighting. And that's what I love about pictures. So you don't really need expensive equipment to take great pictures with. And yeah guys, that concludes this lesson. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment down in the comment section below what you guys want me to see improve on. I'm going to be doing more videos like these where I'm going to be showing you guys how to edit in Lightroom, how to edit in Premiere Pro, how to edit in Photoshop, and all of those types of videos. If you guys want to suggest me any other types of lessons I could do, leave them down in the description below. Check out my Instagram, my Twitter, and stay tuned, subscribe if you guys want to see more videos like these, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.